Welcome back, children. Well, do you remember what we did yesterday? Yes, looking at the first slide, I'm sure you will be able to recollect that we had started with the poem Invictus. And who is the poet? Yes, you're right. It's William Ernest Henley. Today we shall take up the appreciation and the English workshop. Okay? Now what do I mean by English workshop? Children, if you open your textbooks, on page number 29, you have questions, okay, to solve. So I will be doing some of them and some you can do on your own. Okay, so page number 29, if you've got your textbook. For those who do not have yet, please see how you can get it. So today we shall take up the appreciation. Now if you remember, 9th standard students, when you were in the 8th, we did appreciation. So that's not new to you. But what I want to tell you very clearly, that the format that we write, okay, in the 8th standard we did it point wise. We didn't do it exactly like a paragraph format. But now in the 9th standard, you will be writing it in paragraph format. That also I'll teach you how to do it. And another thing, you may be thinking why. Let me tell you, because in the 10th standard board exam, you have to write it that way. So it's better that you start writing it the way the board people want it, right? So let's start then. Now, if you look at your page number 29, you have objective question there. Choose the correct option. Now, you will say, oh, it's very easy. Now, many a times, let me tell you, children, you lose your marks in objectives. In fact, objectives are questions where you can score marks. But just because you are careless, just because you overlook certain things, you write your wrong answer. See, the answer is already given to you, children. You just have to choose. So why lose that 1 mark? So let's read carefully. See, what is important is, children, you read the question carefully. Then you look into all the options that is given. Then think what will be the right answer. Now you already know the meaning of the poem. I already taught you last time. If you don't know, if you have not done the tutorial yesterday, please go back. Listen to the explanation. Then only do this workshop. Otherwise, it will be difficult for you. So you choose the correct option. Now the question there, A, it's given, out of the night that covers me, black as the pit from pole to pole. Okay, there's a misprint there. It is pole to pole. Now, you tell me, what did the poet mean by that, no? When he said, out of the night that covers me, black as the pit from pole to pole. Now the answers are given there. You've got your 3 answers. First one is, there is a pit between 2 poles which you cannot see at night. I am in a pit that is covered with a black sheet. The circumstances are as bad as they can be, with nothing to hope for or for from any corner. So which do you think is right from these 3? Yes, it's the third one. I put a red tick mark there. You can see that? The third one, okay? So the circumstances are as bad as they can be, with nothing to hope for from any corner. So all the side what he sees is dark because he's in a pit. He's not actually in a pit. What is a pit? Deep. I told you, it's a large deep hole in the ground. Okay? So circumstance means the situation is so bad that there is no hope at any corner. That's why pole to pole means there is no hope from one end to the other. Okay? Then the B one. Come on. Now you try solving. Okay? In the fell clutch of circumstance, I have not winced nor cried aloud. Now what did he mean by that? Now the options are given. I fell down and cried aloud. I have not expressed my grief even when I had to suffer great pains. And the last is given there is, I freed myself from a difficult situation and cried. So which you think is right? Yes, you're right. It is the second one which is there. I have not expressed my grief even when I had to suffer great pains. Now let's move on to the next one, the C one. Under the burgeonings, okay, of chance, my head is bloody. Okay, under the burgeonings. Now we did the meaning of burgeoning. What is it? Burgeonings is violent beating with a club. With a club means a piece of stick. It's a stick, okay, when you're beating someone violently. Okay, so we've done the meaning of that. Now, let's see what does it mean. Under the burgeonings of chance, my head is bloody. So what does it mean? The answers are given there. I have suffered many setbacks and losses for which there was no reason. Or I got hurt due to my own faults. The third option is my enemies hit me till I started bleeding. Now which do you think is right? Yes, the first one. I have suffered many setbacks and losses for which there was no reason. Now the D one. And yet the menace of the years finds and shall find me unafraid. We did the meaning of menace. What is menace? Yes, threat. Okay. So this is talking about years, no? Many years passing by. He's getting old. So my enemies threaten me but cannot find me. That's the option. First option. Second, a great bully found me once but shall not find me in future. Even though I am growing old, I am not and shall not be afraid. So the third answer is right. Okay, in the D question, the third answer. Let's move to the E one. Outcharged with punishments the scroll. Okay, that's the question. That's the statement. Now what is the meaning of this? Outcharged with punishments the scroll. You have the first one. The scroll is very expensive. I may have to pay for many of my mistakes. I have to pay money as punishment. So which is correct now? Okay. Which one is correct? Come on, the next. You have the second one correct. I may have to pay for many of my mistakes. Because you're talking about the scroll. Here I said no, it may be beyond. Beyond this place means after his death, he's talking about the punishment that is written on the scroll. Okay, so I may have to pay for many of my mistakes. Then the F1. I am the master of my fate. Now this is easy. What is it now? It says, the first option is I take responsibility for everything that happens in my life. Second is my fate is my master. Third is I am the master of this world. So which is the right answer? The first one. I take responsibility for everything that happens in my life. Then next, G. I am the master of my soul. Which one is that? That is, now the option is given. I am the captain of a team. My soul is the captain of my team. Third one is my actions are the result of my own feelings. So the third one is right. My actions are the result of my own feelings. Now, I purposely did this question, children, because last year, though this was objective and it was already solved in class, many did mistakes, okay, and just marked anything without understanding what the question is trying to tell. See, it's a poem. And sometimes understanding poems is a little difficult. But when we solve the questions and when we understand and solve it, you can do it better. You get your answers right. So, now the next question is write the rhyme scheme of the poem. Now, you know how to write the rhyme schemes, okay? You go by how you see the last word of the line, right? Now, suppose you see the line now, the first, if I am reading, you got your textbook in front of you. Out of the night that covers me, black as the pit from pole to pole, I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. So, which are the last words there? Me, pole, be, soul, right? So, you start with A. Then pole is B. Then B is the word B. For that you'll put A again, and soul. Pole and soul is matching. So rhyming rather. So you will be putting that as B. So you got A, B, rhyming words. And then second stanza, there are 4 stanzas. So second stanza will be what? C, D, C, D. Third stanza, E, F, E, F. And last, the fourth, G, H, G, H. Easy? Well, now let's move on to the next important question. That is the appreciation of the poem. Now let me tell you children, this is a very important question. It's there in your 9th and it is going to be there in your 10th also. So it's better to learn it properly, isn't it? Now, what I want you to know is, appreciation comes of 5 marks. And if you see there, I've written there in red, points to remember, it should be written in paragraph format. What you did last year was just the beginning, therefore we just taught you in points. But now in the 9th standard, you are going to write it in paragraph. I'm sure you all know how a paragraph looks like. Now, what I put down there are 5 points. Now, you don't have to write these 5 points. You have to remember these 5 points, and these 5 points have to be in your paragraphs. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? These 5 points you should know by heart, and you should write these 5 points in your paragraphs. That means you have to mention these 5 points in your paragraph. Now, what are the points? Let's see. The first is title. Title of what? The poem. And what is the title of the poem? The title of the poem is Invictus. Easy. Name of the poet and the poetess. Okay, you should know the name. That's why I said know the name of the poet and poetess. Then central idea. What is the poet talking about in the poem? Isn't it? Every poem is different. There's a message. Then figures of speech. Now figures of speech, children, you can write 2 or 3 or whatever. But I have done more than that so that you choose whatever you want. But you should know all the figures of speech. Because if it comes as other questions, you should be knowing it, okay? Then rhyme scheme. We did the rhyme scheme already now, okay? So that's easy, come on. So let's start now in paragraph. Now this is what it looks like in paragraph, okay children? Remember, 2 finger space from the margin. So we start off. The poem Invictus is written by William Ernest Henley. He wrote this poem while he was in the hospital undergoing treatment for tuberculosis of bones in his left leg. Then the rhyme scheme of the poem is A, B, A, B, C, D, C, D, E, F, E, F, G, H, G, H. Now the central idea. The poet wants to give an inspirational message through the poem that no matter what life throws at you, no matter how bad it is, one should never give up. The poet talks about the great strength of human spirits in the depths of adversity. Now, I've written the meaning of adversity. Learn the new word. Adversary mane, it means difficulties. In the darkest time and burgeonings. Okay, burgeonings is what you have already done the meaning. Violin beating with a club. I keep repeating so that you learn it. In the darkest time and burgeonings of chance. Okay, so even through all that, the human spirit is what it is. It finds the strength. And there are many figures of speech. Now coming to figures of speech. Now I have named them: alliteration, repetition, metaphor, personification, inversion and simile. Now what I have done is, when you write your figure of speech, you have to give example from the poem. You cannot just write any figure of speech and just leave it there, children. You must prove it that it is there in the poem. So what should you do then? You have to write the line which says, okay. Now for example, look at this. I've written there simile. Now which one is simile? Black as a pit from pole to pole. Now why is it a simile, children? You tell me. You've already done it in the 8th standard. Simile are figure of speech, what? With the word as and like, when they bring comparison. So this is bringing comparison of black as a pit from pole to pole. Okay, there's a comparison between, we're talking about the night, okay, from and as a pit. So it's comparing the night to the as dark as the pit. Okay. The next is alliteration. Alliteration means what, children? when you can see in a sentence alphabets repeated. Alphabet, not words. So remember A for alphabet repeated. Now my head is bloody but not bowed. Now bloody B, okay, alphabet, but B, bowed B. So the alphabet is repeated there, so it is an alliteration. Now next is repetition. Now be alert. Many of you have a lot of confusion between alliteration and repetition, but they are entirely different. Listen to this carefully. Repetition is what? See that example there. Black as a pit from pole to pole. Now you tell me. Here which are the words repeated? Pole to pole. Pole and pole is repeated, right? Next sentence. I am the master of my fate. Which is the word repeated? I am the captain of my soul. I am, no? That is B question only. It's not B and C. One B question. So which are which are the words repeated there? Am the, right? So when the word is repeated, you tell me what figure of speech is that? Repetition. Please learn the spellings well. It is R-E-P-E. So simple. R-E-P-E. T-I-T-I-O-N. Okay. So even alliteration, remember it's double L. Some of you confuse there in your spellings. As you pronounce, likewise you write it down. The alphabet. You will get it. Now, the next figure of speech. This is very easy. Inversion. Inverted. बोलते हैं ना. So here, so look at the sentence. It matters not how straight the gate. Now, in poem, no, there is one freedom that a poet has. He can write in any order. The sentence he can write in any order. But in prose, no, you cannot write in any order. There is a rule. You have to write it in order. So here, actually the statement should be what? The line should be what? It does not matter how straight the gate. But instead of that, what he has written? It matters not how straight the gate. So that is inversion. When the line is not in order. Next, personification. Now this is also easy. We have already done it. Personification is what? That figure of speech that gives human quality to non-living things. Non-living or inanimate objects. So what is it? In the fell clutch of circumstances. So here what is happening? Clutch is when you say clutch means when you're holding, no? When you grip something. So here, in the clutch, in the fell clutch of circumstance. So circumstance is given what? Human quality of clutching. Do you get that? It's simple. We have finished off with the figure of speech. Okay. Just a little revision. What is it? What should you remember when you're writing appreciation of the poem? 5 points. First is title, then name of the poet or poetess, central idea or it's called the theme, figures of speech and rhyme scheme. You write all this properly in your paragraph, you get 5 marks. Yes, children. So we come to the end of today's lesson. We finished off. There's a lovely film relating to this, children, Invictus, but I couldn't show it to you because the video is running out time. But I don't know. Let me see if I can do it in the next video or so. It is talking about Nelson Mandela. He is the first South African black who became the president. And, he loved this poem. This was one of his favorite poems, Invictus. So we shall take that maybe next time. Let's see. I just want to say that you take care of yourself. We care about you. We think about you, children. And I hope you are praying and you being obedient to your parents. Okay? God bless you. Thank you.